igneous rock again. What I told you yesterday, we're going to study here classification of igneous rocks. I will just try to finish this rock topic today and tomorrow you will get the handouts there. Fine? जितना भी इसमें लिख रहा हूँ सब कुछ उसे mention है with many more further examples. Okay. When we talk about the classification, classification is on the 3 parameters. What is one? On the basis of location. Good. दूसरा मैंने कहा था on the basis of chemical composition. Very good. अब एक चीज और देखिए, on the basis of location, on the basis of chemical composition. Generally we study these two only, but I will add one more, on the basis of texture. ठीक है, one by one we will pick them. चलिए पहला स्टार्ट करते हैं on the basis of location. अब ध्यान से सुनना. On the basis of location we have two types. One is called as extrusive igneous rock. What is one called as? Extrusive igneous rock. The word itself says extrusive. It means it is formed over the earth surface. It means in our surroundings. Clear? Another is called as intrusive igneous rock. दूसरा क्या कहलाता है? Intrusive igneous rock. It means where it is formed within the crust, inside the earth. But ध्यान से सुनना. If I am saying crust has 3 layers, कल roughly मैंने यही कहा था आपको. If it is crust, it is mantle, it is core. Now when I am talking about this crust, मान के चलो ये पूरी shaded part, what is this whole my crust? Can I say it must be having some thickness? Will thickness be same or it will be variable? Variable. ये देखो, ये तो एक मैंने rough sketch draw किया है to show it in a very general behavior that it is crust. We people live here. Can I call it 0 kilometer? And can I say crust must be having some thickness here? Is it clear? Now, can I call this to be vertical structure of the earth? So up to inside we are going. When you talk about the radius till this, if it is my crust, it is my mantle, और ये पार्ट क्या कहलाता है? कोर. एक मिनट रुक जाओ जरा. What is this part called as? Core. The total, if you talk about the thickness, ये कितना आ जाता है? Radius of Earth 6400 kilometer. Is it clear? From the surface till if you reach to the core, how much radius comes there? 6400 kilometer. अगर मैं assume करके चलता हूँ, whatever I am telling you right now, I will discuss this in detail later. But अभी के लिए बस याद रख लेना. In this we say crust is approximately 100 kilometer thick. How much is crust? 100 kilometer. And then we say mantle is around 2900 kilometer. And then 29 to 6400 kilometer. What is that? Core. Is it clear? So if they ask you which is the thickest part of the earth, देखो जरा कौन है thickest? Mantle. Is this clear? After less than that, core. Which is the thinnest part? Crust. Crust is like the skin of our body. If you observe an egg, boiled egg देखा सबने? If you break the shell, you have their thin white layer skin type. That is assumed crust, the thinnest part of the earth. Then you go to the central part, you have that thickest part of the white. That is your mantle. And inside you have that orange or yellowish. That is your core. So you can imagine earth crust, earth like this, crust, mantle or core. What is this crust? When I say thinnest layer of the अर्थ। अब यहाँ देखो, यहाँ पे मैंने कहा कि कुछ ना कुछ तो थिकनेस होगी, बट ऐसा तो नहीं हर जगह इट विल बी 100 किलोमीटर, नो। अगर मैं ऐसा एक फिगर लूं, अज्यूम करिए जरा, if you talk about crust is divided into two parts, continental crust and oceanic crust. The place where we humans live, which is solid in state, what is that called as? Continental crust. If you start entering into the water, you will find some depth. लेकिन कितनी भी डेप्थ में चले जाओ, in the end what you will get there? Solid rocks. What is that called as? Oceanic crust. It is just like, imagine करना ऐसे, समझना मत कि वही है. You are on a surface which is made up of rocks. You want to enter into the swimming pool. What will be the depth of the surface rock there? Deeper. As soon as you enter into the pool, what is happening to depth? Increasing. वैसे जैसे आप land से, if you are here on the land, this is the coastal area and there the sea begins. What is this whole part called as? Continental crust. What is this part called as? Oceanic crust. Am I clear with this? Similarly, अगर मैं ये part लूं, that this is the ocean, ये मान के चलते ocean है. So what is this part of the crust called as? Oceanic crust. Is it clear? What will be this part of the crust called as? Continental. If you see over the mountains, what is thickness of continental crust? Obviously more, like Himalayas and all, thickness क्या होगी? ज़्यादा. Then if you go to the North Indian plains, plains of UP, Bihar, Punjab, Haryana, thickness will be less, this much. And then if you go to the plateau areas, Chota Nagpur plateau and all, so is thickness of crust same or variable? Variable. Which part of the crust generally is more thicker, continental or oceanic? Continental is more thicker. What is oceanic? Thinner. Even in continental part, thickness is same or variable? Where it is more? Mountains. Less is in plains. Hope you clear? समझ आ रहा है? तो जब मैं ये बात कर रहा हूँ क्रस्ट की, तो मैंने ऐसे बना दिया, इसका मतलब नहीं इतनी है. There is a variability in that. Hope I am clear with this? तो अब ये एक बात ध्यान से समझना आप, when I am talking about intrusive rocks, है ना, intrusive igneous rocks, one तो is extrusive, it means volcano आया and assume on this part a rock is being formed. What we call this? Extrusive igneous rock. You will remember, where is heat trapped? Inside the earth. Maybe while this heat is traveling, rather than coming out, it cools down here within this. कहाँ पे cool out हो रही है ये? Within crust only. Maybe some travels and cool down here. Above the crust or within the crust? Within the crust. What will be this called as? Intrusive. जो बाहर आ गई उसको कहोगे extrusive. Am I clear with this? Now within the crust, are they found at the same depth or different depths? Different depths. समझ आ रहा है ये? यहाँ देखो, ये समझ लो continental crust थी. It is clear, ये पूरी thickness थी. If the magma is able to reach to the surface, what type of rock you will find? Extrusive. But if the magma is traveling and cooling here within the crust, what will be this? Intrusive. Good. Now, intrusive igneous rocks are further of two types. They are on the basis of depth. I will draw a figure and explain there. One is called as hypabyssal. एक क्या कहलाती है? Hypabyssal igneous rock. Another is called as plutonic rock. क्या कहलाती है? पहले तो एक ये स्ट्रक्चर हमें समझना है, ठीक है? इसको याद नहीं करना है, सिंपल कैसे याद रखना है, फिगर की तरह. ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ लोकेशन, इंट्रूसिव, एक्सट्रूसिव. इंट्रूसिव कितने टाइप का? 2, हाइपाबिसल एंड प्लूटोनिक. अब चलते जरा फिगर में देखते हैं कैसे दिखेगा ये. Can I say rocks can have several cracks and joints? Are all cracks and joints visible to us? No. Some may be visible, some may not be visible. Okay. Assume here magma is rising from the magma chamber. ठीक है? Magma is rising from the magma chamber, and it is a passage where it is traveling. Can I say wherever this magma will get away, it will try to travel there? समझ लो यहाँ पे एक passage है, a crack or a joint here, like this. So can I say this magma will enter there also? As it will enter and travel, maybe it is getting blocked here. Beyond that, it is not able to move. Can I say it will get solidified here also? Okay. And then the remaining part of this will melt this. Remember कल मैंने कहा था like this chocolate bar. It will result into the thickening or thinning. Thinning. So it will erupt out. और यहाँ पे क्या बना देगा ये? Volcano. How you define it as? Volcano. And after that, this lava can spread and get solidified. As it cools down, this lava, as it cools down, what will it? Solidify and convert into igneous rock. Intrusive or extrusive? तो ये हमने पढ़ लिया. What is this one called as? Extrusive igneous rock. अब सुनना पहले जरा इसको. But you need to understand one thing. As this magma is traveling, ध्यान से सुनिएगा. As this magma is traveling, the moment it travels, can I see some cooling can be seen here also? Okay. Now tell me one thing. If you are close to the source of a heat, let me repeat my statement. If you are close to the source of a heat, close to the source of the heat means temperature difference will be more or less? Less. Are you agreeing with this? When you are close to the source of a heat, it means temperature gradient or temperature difference will be less. Rate of cooling will be slow or fast? Slow. When, if you are moving away from the source of the heat, temperature difference is increasing or decreasing? Increasing. Rate of cooling will be fast or slow? If you are in between, neither much close, neither much away, what will be rate of cooling? Moderate. Is it clear? Okay. Before I go to this, let's explain few things. Yesterday we discussed with increase in temperature, what will happen to volume? Expand. And with decrease in temperature, what will happen to volume? Contract. ये पढ़ा था हमने कल? Anything which heats up, what will happen? It will expand. Anything which cools down, what will happen? It will contract. Clear? This is what we discussed yesterday. Now, tell me one thing. Whenever there is cooling, ध्यान से सुनना. Whenever there is cooling, what will cooling result into? Solidification. It means molecules are widely spaced or tightly packed? Tightly packed. Fine. So whenever there is cooling, we know there is solidification. But there can be rate of cooling. What will be the rate of cooling? Rate of cooling either can be fast. Fast को rapid लिख दूं? Okay. Rate of cooling either will be slow. अब statement सुनना. When the rate of cooling is fast, कल भी मैंने कहा था, temperature gradient will be high or low? When the rate of cooling is fast, temperature difference is more or less? More. मैंने कल example दी थी summer winter की. If you talk about summers, day temperature is let's say 15 degree. Night temperature might fall to 5 degree. Rate of cooling will be very fast. Remember I give an example of a cup of a tea. If I keep a cup of a tea in the winters, outside, what is the temperature of the tea? Very hot. But in winters, what is surrounding here? Very cold. Temperature difference is more or less? More the temperature difference, faster will be the cooling. In summers, if I keep the same cup of tea outside, what is the temperature of the tea in the cup? High. What is the surrounding air temperature? Hot. So transfer of energy will be more or less? Rate of cooling will be less. It means temperature difference is less. So it means whenever there will be cooling, cooling result into solidification. But when the rate of cooling is rapid, whether the rate of cooling is slow, still what will be the matter converting into solid? and whenever any matter converts into solid, there will be some size of that solid block. Now tell me one thing, if rate of the cooling will be very fast, if the rate of the cooling is very rapid, there will be still a solid matter formed. If the rate of the cooling is slow, there will be still a solid material formed. Now can you tell me in both the cases, where will be the size of the solid matter coarser and where will be the size of the solid matter finer? अगर रैपिड होगा what will be size? आप बोलो, मैं लिख देता हूँ finer. If the rate of the cooling will be slow, coarser. That means large. होगा ऐसा? क्यों होगा ऐसा? ऐसा क्यों होगा? Nothing to geography, but you should know it. चलो मैं कोई एग्जांपल देता हूँ. Whenever there is cooling, अभी हमने पढ़ा, will there be expansion or contraction? Contraction. So whenever contraction is happening, volume is increasing or decreasing? अगर मैं कहूँ pressure, कल भी मैंने कहा force acting per unit. What is pressure? Force acting per unit area. तो जब भी कोई चीज कूल हो रही है, ठंडी हो रही है, वो सुकड़ रही है, हिंदी में समझो तो. Take an example, if you burn anything, initially what will it expand? Allow it to cool, what you will find? ऐसे contract हो जाता है. So it means when there is cooling, what will be their contraction? In contraction, pressure is increasing or decreasing? Increasing. समझ आ रहा है? ये देखो, this is contraction. What will happen to the pressure? Increase. If pressure will increase, can I say there will be friction also? Because molecules will be coming close. So what will be there? Friction also. Am I clear to this? Now, when the rate of cooling will be faster, ध्यान से सुनना. If the rate of cooling will be faster, contraction will be slow or fast? Friction will be slow or fast? They will collapse like this. Due to high friction, what will happen? Break down into finer particles. Now, if the rate of cooling is very slow, pressure is increasing rapidly or gradually? Very slowly. Friction is increasing rapidly or gradually? And finally, what is happening? It will cool down. What will be the block? Bigger. एक और एग्जांपल सुनो. केक बेक किया है, गर्ल्स ने तो किया होगा, है ना? बॉयज ने भी किया है. Okay. When you bake the cake, once it is completely baked, inside the oven, what is temperature? Very high. So once the cake is baked, you never take it out of the oven. You switch off the oven and let it cool inside the oven. Why? Because inside it will cool very slowly. It will cool very slowly. As it slowly cool, what will be the compression? Very slow. What will be the friction? Very slow. And after half an hour or whatever is the time, if you take it, you will find a big solid block. But the moment you bake the cake, if you take it out of the oven, what is it? Very hot. What is outside temperature? Very less. What will be rate of cooling? Fast. So it will contract very fast. You will find several small cracks developed over the cake. Is it clear? So it means rate of cooling, if it is rapid, what will be the size? Finer. Rate of cooling, if it is slow, what will be the size? Coarser. Am I clear with this part? Okay. अब यहाँ पे भी देखो, this is the source of a heat. Is it clear? As soon as this magma, I'm just writing about this magma. As soon as this magma rises, as soon as this magma rises, as soon as it travels, can I say some cooling will be here also? Rate of cooling will be fast or slow? What will be the size of this? What will be the size of this? Coarser. So here, if some will form, the rock size will be this coarser. Am I clear with this? The rest of the magma will keep on traveling, traveling, traveling. It enters here into the crack and joint. Maybe it's getting blocked there, not further able to move. It will get solidified here. What is rate of cooling in comparison to this here? Faster. What will be here? Very fast. Can I say intermediate here? So in comparison to this, what will be its size? Less. In comparison to this, what will be its size? Finer among the all. Are you getting with this part? समझ आ रहा है? तो अगर मैं यहाँ पे अब यही बात लिखूं, in this part and this part, what are these two examples of intrusive igneous rock? इसको मैं लिख देता हूं प्लूटोनिक इग्निशियस रॉक। मैं बता देता हूं ऐसा क्यों कहते हैं। प्लूटोनिक igneous rock. Where it is found? Within the crust. At shallower depth or greater depth? Greater depth. This is called as hypabyssal rock. What is this called as? Hypabyssal igneous rock. ठीक है यहां तक? ओके, आगे देखते हैं जरा। Plutonic igneous rock. If I have to write its characteristics, it is formed at the greater depth within the crust, where rate of cooling is much slower. Is it clear why it is slower? Is this clear? Because temperature difference is less here. So where the rate of cooling is much slower, thus the size of the textured crystals will be large. Can I say simply will be coarser? Hope it is clear. यहाँ तक समझ आ रहा है? We can give one example of it. Granite. क्या example है इसकी? इसके चलते जरा hypabyssal. Rate of cooling is moderate. समझ आ रहा? Why moderate? Because बाहर आएगा तो बहुत rapid cooling होगी. Here it is moderate. Thus the size is medium. Is it clear? We have an example, dolorite, magnetite. ये मैंने भी नहीं देखे, बस याद रख लेना. The one which reaches out, the one which reaches out here, what will be rate of cooling? Very fast. कल बताया था. Thus what will be the size? Finer size. Example, basalt. What is example? Basalt. यहाँ देखो, कल मैंने कहा था the temperature of the freshly ejected lava, I will repeat it again, the temperature of the freshly ejected lava varies between कितना कहा था कल 500 degree to 1200 degree centigrade. So very hot. But what is atmospheric temperature average on the earth? 14 to 15 degrees. So temperature difference is more or less. Lava का temperature 500 degree, 1200 degree है. And if you talk about the surrounding temperature, 14 to 15 degree. So what will be rate of cooling? Fast. If the rate of cooling will be fast, what will be the size? Finer. Is this clear? यहाँ तक समझ आ रहा है? अब एक चीज और देखिए इसी में. Same basalt when disintegrates. What do you mean by disintegrate? Weathering. कल बताया था. ये किस में टूट जाएगा? ब्लैक सॉइल में. किस में टूट जाएगा? ब्लैक सॉइल. Same black soil is locally called as regur soil. Maharashtra, Karnataka, what is it locally called as? Regur soil. It is good for the cultivation of cotton. It is good for the cultivation of cotton. And same basalt is used for building roads. What is it used for building? Roads. If you see in your roads, you have that black color tar. There is nothing but the basalt. Can I say every natural resource? Why we call it resource? कोई भी natural entity, how you call it resource? When it is useful for the human welfare. जब तक कोई चीज human से काम की नहीं है, हम उसको resource बोलते ही नहीं है. Is it clear? So can I say human with the technology and the wit can convert any material into resource? Is it clear? Shall I move to the next part? So what is it on the basis of location? Extrusive and intrusive. तो आपसे पूछेगा नहीं plutonics. ध्यान से सुनना क्या है. In Greek mythology, these all names are given by the Greeks initially. in Greek mythology they consider Pluto to be the god of underworld. वो वाला underworld नहीं. They believe there is life after death, which is below the earth. So they consider this Pluto to be the god of underworld. So the rock formed at the greater depth, नाम दे दिया plutonic. But ये कोई एग्जाम में पूछता नहीं है. You should just remember what is the difference. What is the main difference here? Rate of cooling. Is this clear? Shall I move to the next? क्या कह रहे हो? हाँ, क्यों होगा ब्लॉक? इतना ही थोड़ी एरिया है, 100 of kilometers में ये हो रहा है. क्या होता है? क्यों हो रही है? यहाँ पे ये समझ लो इतना हो गया, ये साइड वाले पैसे से निकल जाएगा. इतना ही थोड़ी है, इट इज अ ह्यूज एरिया. समवेयर सॉलिडिफाइड, समवेयर अपवेल. Which we are not able to go inside the earth and study. Are you clear with this part? Shall I move to the next? हाँ. क्यों? पत्थर टूट के क्या बनता है? सॉइल. हाँ वो है, कहीं ना बनता है ना. मैंने कहा था we will study this. We are just studying here first the basics of the rock. ठीक है. अभी volcano नहीं है, लेकिन million and million years ago there was, that is something called as hotspot volcanoes. So for that first you need to understand volcano आता कहाँ पे है, क्यों आता है. We will come to that part, don't worry. Shall I move to next part? So this is the first part, which is on the basis of location. Let's come to another part on the basis of chemical composition. यार प्लीज ये ना ACs ऑन कर दो, नहीं तो यहाँ पीछे बैठ जाओ, क्लास में मत आओ. आप लोग वहां तो बैठ जाते हो. कम हियर, दिस रेडिएट्स लॉट ऑफ हीट. स्क्रीन बहुत हीट रेडिएट करती है. आप लोग बंद करके बैठ जाओ खुद तो आराम से. जो पढ़ा रहा है उसकी हालत खराब हो जाती है. इतना है तो पीछे बैठ जाओ और गेट जैकेट्स, है ना. भी ऐसे विंटर्स आ रही, जैकेट्स वगैरह बैठ के पीछे बैठ जाओ, क्या दिक्कत है. एसी मत बंद करो प्लीज. ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ केमिकल कंपोजिशन. अब यहाँ देखो, उसके साथ खेलना बंद करो. जिसको बहुत ज्यादा ठंड लगती है ना, वो ऑनलाइन देखा करो फिर, है ना. यू विल बी मच कंफर्टेबल एंड कोजी इन योर ब्लैंकेट्स एंड ऑल. अभी विंटर्स आई भी नहीं, ये हालत है आप लोगों की. नाउ लिसन हियर. अरे यहाँ देख लो, छोड़ दो, कर देगा ऊपर. On the basis of chemical composition, we have two types. Now, what I mean by on the basis of chemical composition, जब rock बनी होगी earth surface पे, which igneous rock, geologists might have taken the sample of these rocks, and on the basis of the study of the samples, they found that there are different chemical properties in different igneous rocks. It means lava is of same type or different types? Different types. One type of the lava will have different chemical composition, other type of the lava will have different chemical composition. So on the basis of these chemical compositions, पहले एक simple सी बात करते हैं. We have one called as felsic igneous rock. What is one? Felsic igneous rock. अभी पढ़ते हैं क्या होता है ये. Another we are having mafic igneous rocks. What do you have? Another mafic igneous rocks. So it means first felsic igneous rocks and then you have mafic igneous rocks. Now first try to understand what is felsic. Felsic igneous rock contain feldspar. क्या contain करता है ये? Feldspar. कल हमने पढ़ा था feldspar में क्या होता है? Silicates are very rich. Can I say silica content is very rich? Silicates of, yes, sodium, aluminium, कैल्शियम एंड पोटेशियम. सो एक चीज याद रखना, इसमें सबसे ज्यादा क्या है? सिलिका. कैन आई कॉल इट सिलिकॉन डाइऑक्साइड इज मोर, सिलिका इज मोर. व्हेन यू टॉक अबाउट मैफिक इग्निस रॉक, it is having magnesium and iron. Is it clear? What is it having dominance of? Iron and magnesium. Is it clear? And what is silica relatively? Silica is relatively less. What is here silica relatively dominant? ये जो लावा है, basically what we are considering here, दो टाइप के रॉक्स हैं, वो किस पे बने हैं? बेसिस ऑफ लावा डिफरेंसेस. Now, one is felsic igneous rock. It means one lava is making felsic igneous rock, another lava is making mafic igneous rock. The lava which makes felsic igneous rock, उस लावा को हम क्या कहते हैं? Acidic lava. What we call it? Acidic lava. The one which makes the mafic igneous rock, we call it basic lava. So it means this mafic and felsic are nothing. They are formed by two types of the lava. एक लावा को कहते हैं acidic, एक को कहते हैं basic. थोड़ी देर के लिए इसको भूल जाओ, यहाँ पे आ जाओ. When you talk about acidic lava, another you have basic lava. चलो जरा डिफरेंस देखते हैं क्या है. Acidic lava is that type of lava in which silica content is very high. देखो इसमें बहुत सारी क्लासिफिकेशन है. आई डोंट वांट टू कंफ्यूज यू अननेसेसरी. यू हैव देयर लाइक इफ यू टॉक अबाउट felsic, mafic, ultra basic and all. Let's not go into that. इतनी कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी में नहीं जाते हैं. Silica content is high in comparison to iron and magnesium. ठीक है. It means generally हम कितना लेते हैं? जो बुक्स में दिया हुआ है, silica content is greater than 60%. इतना काफी है जीएस में समझने के लिए. And iron and magnesium is less than 30%. Clear? Similarly, when you talk about the basic lava, in this iron and magnesium is more dominant than silica comparatively to acidic. It means I can say here silica is around 30%, and what is more dominant of iron and magnesium. Is first difference clear? Now, when and then silica content in the rock increases, ठीक है, such lava will be highly viscous. What will be here? Viscosity. What is viscosity? It is a property of a liquid. It is a property of a liquid to remain attached with the solid surface. So, does it give fluidity or resistance to fluidity? Resistant to fluidity. If I talk about honey, honey is more viscous. गाढ़ा है ना? मिट्टी देख लो. Till that, if you add water to the clay, what it becomes? Sticky. So, if you try to even throw it on the ground, will it flow more or less? Less. So, when and then lava content have high silica, what will be viscosity? High. It means fluidity will be less. In comparison to that, in basic lava, you will remember viscosity will be less. So what will be fluidity? It means in areas where you have acidic lava eruptions, the moment this lava came out, will it travel more or less? Less. So it will try to accumulate there around the neck. But in case of basic lava eruptions, what is fluidity? High. So the lava will travel for certain kilometers, several and hundred of kilometers, and then keep on solidifying. Is this clear? You will remember one more thing here. Whenever silica content is high and whenever the rocks are formed, they will be light in color. What will be the color? Light in color, because silica will give them light color appearance. And when the basic lava, it will be dark in color. What is basalt? Dark in color. What is granite? Light in color. Granite has different colors. Pinkish, whitish, grayish, different tinge, light shades are there of the granite. Second thing is, whenever silica content will increase in the rocks, they will be lighter in terms of their density. And what will be they? Denser. Jahan iron or magnesium hoga, what will be such rocks? Denser. In which iron and magnesium will be less and silica will be dominant. What will be such rocks? Lighter. Is this clear? अब एक चीज और देखो, एसिडिक लावा एंड बेसिक लावा. Assume ये मान के चलो एक ओपनिंग इवेंट, एसिडिक लावा इज कमिंग, इट हैज टू मूव आउट, बाहर आना है. इज इट क्लियर? बट व्हाट इज विस्कोसिटी? Viscosity high. If viscosity is high, it will give it resistance to move. Temperature is high, it has to come out, but due to high viscosity, what will it give? Resistance to move. Pressure will increase or decrease? Increase. Pressure will increase so much, and when and then it will break it, it will blast here. So the lava, while will come out through the vent, will it travel more distance in the atmosphere or less? More. So such explosions are very violent. What are such explosions? Very violent. These explosions are highly intensified where the material travels certain kilometers in the atmosphere also. But as this lava falls or as this lava reaches, will it travel much distance? No. Why? Because viscosity is high. ये समझ आ रहा है? आपकी एक पाइप है जिसमें से पानी को बाहर जाना है, ठीक है? If I add honey into that pipe, or if I add clay into that pipe, you are throwing water with very high pressure. But what is that viscous material giving it? Resistance to move. But continuously pressure to बढ़ रहा है. So when pressure will increase so much, by the time it will come out, it will come very rapidly. So the material will travel less or very more distance. But कहाँ की तरफ? Atmosphere की तरफ. So it means these are highly explosive. Can I call them they are violent? Fine. समझ आ रहा है? And where material travels more distance into the atmosphere. But these are quite. Quite का मतलब ये नहीं है वो destruction नहीं करेंगे. It means here viscosity is less. The magma will directly reach on the surface in the form of lava. They will travel less thickness in the height in the atmosphere and then begin to spread out. Is difference clear? ये दो चीजें clear है? Okay. So on the basis of chemical composition, जहाँ felsic word आया silica more. What type of lava? Acidic. Basic का मतलब iron and magnesium, called as mafic. Is it clear? यहाँ तक समझ आ रहा है? Now, it means on this earth surface, whenever there is volcanic eruption, what type of two lavas can be there? Acidic and basic. When they will cool down, is it for sure they will make some landforms? Now, as a layman, will you be able to identify it? कौन करेगा ये? Geologist. लेकिन आप भी देख सकते हो. Let me show you how come. So let's take one example here. If I consider this to be here magma chamber, what is this? Magma chamber. What is the surface? From this magma chamber, magma will begin to rise. Why it is rising? Because it is very hot. So in comparison to surrounding rocks, is it lighter or denser? Lighter. Anything which is lighter will rise or sink. देखो आप पतीले में गर्म पानी को बॉईल करो. As soon as you will begin to heat it up, what will happen? It will become lighter. Will it rise or sink? So in comparison, surrounding हवा तो नहीं rise कर रही. Why? Because in comparison to that, what is this? Lighter. Similarly, assume this is the whole interior of the earth. यहाँ पे magma chamber है. Assume this area is the magma chamber. So as this is the magma chamber, what will be rocks here in the molten state? Why? Temperature will be high. But here the rocks are not in molten state. So if you compare the density of the both, which is much denser? Which is much denser? The one, this one. As it is hot, which will be it? Lighter. Anything which is lighter than the surrounding, it will begin to rise. So as soon as this magma is rising, पहले कुछ चीजें बता देता हूं आपको ये. This whole passage through which it travels, इसको इतनी छोटी पाइप मत समझना. It can be in several hundred and kilometers. This is called as volcanic pipe or conduit pipe. What we called it? Conduit pipe, or what is the another name called as? Volcanic pipe. So it is the passage through which this magma travels. Assume this is a magma chamber. It is connecting through a food pipe. What is that called as? Volcanic pipe. Is this clear? This is my surface. Can I say this pipe is connected to this mouth through this passage called as neck? So similarly, as it reaches here, what is this called as the neck of the volcano? Am I clear with this? Through this material after breaking the surface will rise like this. Had it been acidic lava, after erupting, will it go more height into the atmosphere or less? So it will travel certain height into the atmosphere. Can I say like this? Is it clear? Why? Because viscosity was high, pressure developed was more. After that, as it falls down, will it travel more distance or less? So it means here it will travel less distance and try to accumulate near the neck only. Hope it is clear. यहाँ तक समझ आ रहा है? So what you will find? This structure here. Am I clear with this? Fine. क्या कहेंगे इसको? It gives rise a cone shape. So can I call it volcanic mountain? What is this dome shape? What is this dome in the shape of a cone? ये dome ही बना रहा है. But what is in the top of the dome? Cone shape. तो mountain ऐसे ही तो होते हैं. So it means wherever we have volcanic mountains, what type of lava is there? Acidic lava. अब यहीं पे अगर मैं एक और बात करूं, again, what is this magma chamber? Now, had it been basic lava, what will be viscosity? Less. So it means, will it travel much distance in the atmosphere or less? Less. As it reaches here, this is volcano, and then it will travel for longer distances. And finally, what will happen? Solidify. Am I clear like this? ये समझ आ रहा है? It is also dome shape. But what type of dome is this? Shield shape. What we call it? Shield. It gives rise to plateaus. What it gives rise to? Plateaus. Deccan Plateau of India. Do you have their mountains? दिखता कोई volcanic mountain? No. What is it? Plateau. It means if there had been any volcanic activity in the past, what type of magma must have erupted there? Sorry, lava. What type of lava would have been erupted there? Basic lava. Is it clear? अगर मैं इसकी example दूं, this is the eruption associated with basic lava. We have one example of Deccan Plateau of India. Another, we have one more example, Hawaiian Island. अब देखो, जब मैं डेक्कन प्लेट्यू एंड हवाईयन आइलैंड की फॉर्मेशन बताऊंगा, आपको और क्लियर हो जाएगा कि क्यों सर ने ऐसा कहा था. Similarly, here we have some examples. We have called as Paris D Dome, Lesson Peak. Paris D Dome is in France. Lesson Peak is in California. There are many more examples. मैंने एक दो example अभी दी बस याद करने के लिए. ठीक है? Is it clear? Can I call them extrusive igneous landforms? Or can I call them extrusive igneous bodies? So on the Earth's surface, these lava whenever erupt can give two types of the landform. कहीं पे मिलेंगे volcanic mountains, somewhere you can find volcanic plateaus, or in the shield shape mountains. So some mountains can have this tall and cone bearing shape, some can have this broad base shape. Now अगर आपको कोई पूछे difference क्या है, in this, if I say difference, what are they? Tall, their base is narrow, ज्यादा स्प्रेड नहीं करते ना. And what is their slope? Steep. यहाँ पे क्या है? Height is less. Base is very wide. And slopes are very gentle. These are the characteristics. Am I clear with this? Everyone clear with this? समझ आ रहा है? तो साथ में हमने क्या पढ़ लिए? Extrusive igneous rock landforms. अब जरा एक दो चीजें यहां और बता देता हूं. अज्यूम करो अगर ये वॉल्केनो दोबारा एक्टिव हो जाए. Now, as soon as it has to rise, this part has been solidified. ध्यान से सुनना. What has this part been? Solidified. Okay. Assume it like this. ये roof देख रहे हो ऊपर? If I hammer this roof from the bottom, ऐसे करके hammer करता जाऊंगा. Wherever I will hammer, will that area become soft or sorry, will it become hard or weak? So over the period of time, it will break, and where will material try to fall? Down. The moment material is falling down, अगर इस material को मैं ऐसे push करूं, where will it go? Up. Is it clear? Assume similarly, this is the vent, this is the opening. Here the magma is hammering it. Is it clear? So what is happening to the rocks at the surface? Becoming weak. As they become weak, they will try to fall down. Some will fall down, but as this pressure is there, majority of the material it will throw out. Is this clear? So can I say, ध्यान से समझना इस पार्ट को. Can I say at the top of the vent, ध्यान से सुनो इसको, at the top of the vent there is a funnel shaped depression. ऐसे कुछ डिप्रेशन बन रहा है funnel shape. ठीक है. Till the time lava is erupting out, this depression will not be visible. Assume अगर इस पाइप से पानी निकलता रहे, so what will happen? This opening will be there. Now once volcanic activity is over, can I say there will be cooling? So will cooling happen only at the surface or top to bottom whole? यहाँ पे भी cooling होगी, यहाँ पे भी cooling होगी. Whole this vent will cool down. As there is cooling, will there be expansion or contraction? अब यहाँ देखो, if this has to cool down, will it expand or contract? What is this shape forming? Funnel shape. ये दिख रहा है? So here at the top of the volcano, this funnel shaped depression is created. What is this? Funnel shaped depression created, which is called as crater. क्या कहलाता है? What is this called as? Crater. If water falls into this, rain water and all, what will it become? Crater lake. तो ये क्या बन जाएगी? Lake. We call it crater. ध्यान से समझना. What we call this as? Crater lake. Can I say this water can be used for irrigation, used for drinking in the surrounding areas, so human habitation can flourish in the nearby areas? Am I clear to this? Now, ये एक छोटी example है. Nesting of different craters. What is nesting? Meeting of different craters. Will increase the size of crater or decrease? Increase or decrease? Increase. So you will remember nesting of craters is called as caldera. What is it called as? So if they ask you which is bigger, crater or caldera? Caldera. यहाँ पे देखिए ये कैसे दिखता है. Hope you all are able to see it. ये top of the volcano क्या बनाता है? Crater. Is this clear? If it gets solidified, what it makes? Crater lake. Now lot of crater lakes were nest with each other. What will their size become? Bigger, called as caldera. Hope it is clear. समझ आ रहा है ये? What is their top formed? Crater. If it gets all, this is called crater. What is this at the top called as? Crater. ये देखो ऐसा दिखता है crater. When it solidifies, water get accumulated there. What it makes? Crater lake. Nesting of this and this, it will increase the area or decrease? Decrease. That is called as caldera. Am I clear with this? So can I say repeated explosions of different craters can increase even their size? So what will they become? Caldera. Am I clear? Now listen one more thing. In India, we also have a crater lake in Maharashtra, but at present there is no volcano. इंडिया में भी ऐसा ही क्रेटर लेक है. In India, there is Buldana district. किस डिस्ट्रिक्ट में मिलता है? बुल्दाना डिस्ट्रिक्ट ऑफ महाराष्ट्र. बट यहां देखो, ये क्रेटर लेक जो है, इट इज कॉल्ड एज सीडो वॉल्केनिक फीचर. सीडो वॉल्केनिक फीचर और सीडो वॉल्केनिक लैंडफॉर्म. सीडो क्या मतलब क्या है? विच इज नॉट ट्रू. इट लुक्स लाइक बट इट इज नॉट एग्जैक्टली सेम. दिखने में सेम है बट प्रोसेस इज नॉट देयर. हुआ क्या है? इट इज बिलीव दैट many years ago there has been a meteor. What is meteors? The heavenly bodies which also revolve around the sun. Meteors are heavenly bodies which also revolve around the sun. They are very hot. Assume this meteor doesn't have a fixed orbit. Sometime this meteor from its orbit jump and try to enter into the earth atmosphere. तो अर्थ के एटमॉस्फेयर में जाने से पहले कहां जाएगा? स्पेस. Then it will enter into the earth atmosphere. In our atmosphere there are gases and dust particles. Now this meteor is already hot, very burning. एकदम ऐसे लगता है जैसे आग जल रही हो. Now as this meteor enter into our atmosphere, can I say there will be a friction with the air? जब friction होगा तो temperature बढ़ेगा कि कम होगा? बढ़ेगा. If it completely burns in the atmosphere without falling on the earth, we call it meteor. What we call it? Meteor. If it does not completely burn and still fall on the earth's surface, we call it meteorite. What we call it? Meteorite. Difference clear between meteor and meteorite? Now assume करो आप बिल्डिंग के टॉप फ्लोर पे जाओ और एक बड़ा पत्थर लो which weighs around 100 kg or 50 kg. Throw it on the surface. Where it will fall, earth's gravity will pull it. Where it will fall, what will it create? Depression. Can I say like a crater-like structure? So it is believed this meteor has fallen on this area, which has created a huge depression. Is it clear? Now this meteor when cools down, when it will cool down, can I say it will disintegrate? It will get disintegrated and convert into black soil. So if you go into that area, you will find black soil. If you go into that area, you have a meteor which is filled with the water. So what it looks like? Volcanic crater. But is it volcanic crater? It is a pseudo volcanic feature. What do you mean by pseudo volcanic feature? Which is not true. Am I clear with this? Okay. अब यहाँ देखिए, can I call this one as the primary vent, the primary opening? And can I call this as primary cone? What is this called as? Primary vent and primary cone. Maybe आपके क्वेश्चन पे आ रहा हूँ. Maybe in future, while the magma is traveling, यहां पे वो रॉक स्मेल्ट हो जाए और ऐसे आ जाए. हो सकता है. Is it clear? So can I call it secondary vent and what will be this secondary cone? Similarly in future it can come like this. What will be this? Tertiary vent and tertiary cone. Am I clear to this? So any volcano, ध्यान से सुना, any volcano which has multiple vents, let me repeat it, any volcano which has multiple vents, it is called as parasitic volcano. If anyone asks you what is parasitic volcano, any volcano which has multiple vents, such volcano are called as parasitic volcano. पता लगा यहाँ से भी आ रहा है, वहाँ से भी आ रहा है. Hope it is clear. So you will remember what are parasitic volcanoes. Any volcano having multiple vents. It means more than one vent. Is it clear, guys? यहाँ तक समझ आ रहा है? जो बता रहा हूँ वही याद रखना. What is this? Magma chamber. What is this called as? Conduit pipe. What is this called? Throat or a neck of a volcano. Is this clear? Now, this is one opening. If it has multiple opening, what we will call it? Parasitic volcano. Am I clear to this? What is this? Primary cone. What is this? Secondary cone. Such volcano is called as parasitic volcanoes. Shall I move to next part? तो हम यहाँ रॉक्स नहीं पढ़ रहे, साथ में इनको लैंडफॉर्म से लिंक भी कर रहे हैं. बस जिस दिन ये लिंकेज आप लर्न कर जाओगे, थिंग्स विल बी वेरी इजी विद अदर पार्ट्स आल्सो. इससे क्या होगा, याद रहेगा. एक चीज पढ़ते पढ़ते आपने कितनी चीजें कनेक्ट की. अभी पढ़ क्या रहे हैं सारा, ऊपर क्या हो रहा है. ठीक है. नाउ इसी में एक और चीज पढ़ा देता हूं आपको. इफ यू टॉक अबाउट हियर volcanic material ejected during a volcano. It means once a volcanic activity is taking place, what type of the material can be ejected. एक चीज ध्यान से सुनना. There is something called as volcano, there is something called as volcanism. क्या दो चीजें बोल रहा हूं मैं? Volcano and volcanism. When we say volcano, मैंने कल भी कहा था, volcano is a landform, a vent, a hole or a opening on the earth's surface through which magma reaches to the surface in the form of lava. Assume this digestive tract. What is this? Magma chamber. Food pipe is conduit pipe. What is connecting mouth and food pipe? This neck, volcanic neck, and from this part a opening material comes out. Okay. So volcano is a vent or a hole on the earth's surface through which magma reaches to the surface in the form of lava. अब आता है क्वेश्चन, वॉल्केनिज्म क्या है? ये सारा प्रोसेस जो ऑपरेट हो रहा है, दैट इज वॉल्केनिज्म. वो प्रोसेस अभी हमने नहीं पढ़ा. इज इट क्लियर? द प्रोसेस व्हिच रिजल्ट्स इन द होल एक्टिविटी, that we have not yet studied. We will study that once we come to the plate tectonics. Am I clear to this part? yahan tak samajh aa raha hai? Okay. So when I say volcanic material ejected during a volcano, in the process of volcano there is solid material ejected. एक किस टाइप का मटेरियल इजेक्ट होगा? सॉलिड. There can be another material ejected called as liquid material, and there will be other material ejected called as gaseous material. So what are the three type of material ejected during volcano? Solid material, liquid material as well as gaseous material. Solid material को मैं यहाँ लिख रहा हूँ टेफ्रा भी कहते हैं. क्या कहते हैं? टेफ्रा. Will tephra be of same size or different size? Different size. Good. And you will remember one more thing. It is also called as pyro. Pyro means heat. Clastic कल बताया था. क्या कहते हैं clastic का मतलब? Fragment. It means pyroclastic material. It means material which has been solidified under the influence of this heat. इसका मतलब कोई material बहुत गर्म है, and then as it will cool down, what will happen? It will solidify. So you will remember what is solid material also called as pyroclastic. Pyro means heat, clastic means fragment. Fragment under the influence of heat, or it is also called as tephra. So tephra is of three types. कितने टाइप का साइज होता है सॉलिड का? 3. अब ध्यान से सुनना. One is called as volcanic bomb. Volcanic bomb, or we also call it volcanic block. And another is called as cinder. What is another called as? Cinder. And another is called as ash. So what are the three types of volcanic material, solid material ejected during the volcano? Volcanic bomb or volcanic block. Another is called as cinder, and third is called as ash. अब इसमें difference क्या है? You will remember, if the diameter of the solid material, I will repeat it, if the diameter of the solid material blown out in the process of volcano is greater than 33 mm, 33 ho, 40 ho, 100 ho, 200, 300, anything greater than that, what is that called as? Volcanic bomb or volcanic block. So if the diameter of the volcanic material, solid material, blown out by the volcano is greater than, ऐसे लिख लो, 32 mm, 32 या 33 mm, what is that called as? Volcanic block or volcanic bomb. It means 33, 40, 50, 60, 100, 200, 300, anything more than that. If the diameter of the volcanic material blown out in the process of volcano varies between 4 to 32 mm, it means less than 32 mm but greater than 4 mm. What is that called as? Cinder. And anything smaller than 4 mm, what is it called as? So which is the finest solid material emitted? Ash. So it means in the process of volcano, if the in any volcano, if the ash is released more, अगर बहुत सारी ash निकल जाए, it is lighter. So will it stay in the atmosphere or it will sink? It will stay in the atmosphere, being lighter. तो जहां जहां ये spread होगी, will it allow the sunlight to pass down? It can completely block the sunlight. Air navigation. What will happen to the air navigation also? It will get disturbed because visibility will be very poor. At these pollutants, does air know the borders? क्या air को border पता है? नहीं. So it will spread over the whole area and this pollutant as a particulate matter will remain suspended, which can create problem for breathing. ये कब खत्म होता है? When there is rainfall. If there is rainfall, what will happen to these pollutants? They will get washed away. Hope it is clear. Now, question is, what is the possibility? ये solid matter आया कहाँ से? अब ध्यान से देखिएगा. Geologists said there can be 3 possibilities. What can be there? 3 possibilities. One of the possibilities, यहाँ पे देखो जरा. One of the possibilities, while this magma was hammering it, मैं यूज वर्ड हैमर कर रहा हूँ, एग्जाम में नहीं लिखना है, मेरे समझाने के लिए बता रहा हूँ. While this upwelling of magma is there, it is getting accumulated at the base of the crust. Is there thickening or thinning of the crust? Thinning. So assume you have a pipe which is blocked. ऐसे देखो कोई पाइप है आपके पास जो बिल्कुल choked है. Let me take example of this. Assume this side there is a opening. ये opening क्या हो चुकी है? Blocked. पूरी pipe block है. Now if you have to remove this blockage, what will you do? You will apply water with hydraulic pressure. है ना? यहाँ से जैसे ये पानी का pressure exert करोगे, first material will come out or water? Material. So ये भी तो solid ही है. Similarly, assume now it is a vent. ऐसे देखो, it is a vent. When this magma is trying to erupt, it will break this rock. What will happen? It will break this rock. Some rock will melt, some will be partially melted. Some will completely melt, some will be partially melted. One of the possibility for the solid material is during the process of volcano, some of the rocks which are not completely melted, they will be blown out. एक तो ये possibility है what geologists say. Second is, as this magma is reaching out into the form of lava, had it been acidic eruptions, it will travel more in the atmosphere or less. As it travels, cooling will be more or slow or fast. So some material will get solidified here and then begin to fall down. Is it clear? These are the 2 possibilities through which we can get this solid material. Am I clear with this? Next देखिए यहाँ पे. So can I say generally in acidic lava there will be ash also, and there will be solid material also, as well as there will be lava also. Is it clear? So what is in acidic lava? Lava composed of one type of material or different type of material? Different type. What is there? Ash is also there, gases are there also, at itself a molten lava is also there. Any volcano which is composed of different types of material, any volcano which is composed of different types of material is called as composed volcano. What is it called as? Composed. ध्यान से सुनो, composed क्यों कहते हैं? Composed, और मैं लिख रहा हूँ stratovolcano. What we call it? Stratovolcano. ये इसलिए होता है because composed meaning is it is composed of different material. कौन कौन सा material होता है इसमें? You have ash as well as your lava along with the gases. Am I clear with this? यहाँ तक समझ आ रहा है? Shall I move to next part? Now, generally, if they ask you where are composed volcanoes seen, in acidic lava eruption or basic lava eruption? Acidic lava eruptions. Is it clear? There will be alternate layer of lava, ash in a mixture form. Hope it is clear. समझ आ रहा है यहाँ तक? Okay. ठीक है, सो लेट्स कम टू अनदर पार्ट हियर। लिक्विड मटेरियल हमने पढ़ ही लिया है, क्या निकलता है? लावा। कितने टाइप का होता है? एसिडिक और बेसिक। रेस्ट स्टोरी वी नो अबाउट इट। एंड gaseous are, can I say, product of steam? Will there be oxygen released? No. So carbon dioxide, hydrochloric acid, is it clear? Methane and all other gases will be released. समझ आ रहा है ये? That's why wherever you have volcanic activities in that areas, acid rain is very dominant. Because these gases which are releasing out, what are they? Basically pollutants. When these gases will condense, what will they make? Clouds. And when they will give rainfall, what is basically coming there? Acid rain. Is it clear? Apart from this is the natural. Apart from this, industrial area has lot of acid rain because the emission coming from industries. So let's put a full stop there, that you will study in environment and ecology part. Hope it is clear. ये समझ आ रहा है? Okay. So volcanic material released by the volcano is clear. Let me show you a few figures here. अब देखो जरा इसको. What is their alternate layer of lava and ash? So what is such volcano called as? Composite volcano. अब यहाँ देखो. In a volcanic eruption, what all you can have? Ash. देखो ये जो होगा acid rain, volcanic bomb. Is this clear? Pyroclastic material. Am I clear to this? As the material ejected out, there will be steam and gas. Is it clear? There will be dust like ash, and if it solidifies there, what will it make? Volcanic bombs. If the size will be less, it can become your cinders. Is it clear to everyone? Shall I move to the next part? अच्छा, एक चीज और देखिए आप. When you talk about acidic lava eruptions, what is viscosity? Very high. Can I say, as the viscosity is very high, some gases will also get trapped into it? Gases में trap रहेंगी. But as it is very hot, the moment it erupts out, cooling will be slow in that or fast? Fast. So what will happen? The lava will get solidified and gases will remain trapped into it. What will happen? Lava will get solidified और gases क्या रह जाएंगी? अंदर ही बंद, क्योंकि उनको टाइम नहीं मिल रहा ठंडा होने का. Which is rapidly cooling? Lava. As the lava cools down, what will happen to the gases? They will remain trapped inside. समझ आ रहा है यहाँ तक? We have also such rocks. मुझे इसका नाम याद नहीं आ रहा. It is, it's also an example of igneous rocks. We call it pumice. What we call it? Pumice. ऐसे igneous rock को क्या कहते हैं? Pumice. आपको ये देखो कैसे मिलेंगे, मैं अभी बता रिलेट करूंगा तो you will understand it. Assume this is the rock. इसके बीच में कहीं कहीं gaps होंगे. Why do you find such gaps there? Because gases were trapped there. तो ये पार्ट क्या solidify हो पाएगा? नहीं. तो यहाँ गड्ढे से रह जाएंगे. So will it have a smooth surface or uneven surface? Uneven surface. And as it is made up of acidic lava, color will be dark or light? Light. You use such rocks to remove the dead skin from your feet. Dentistry में भी use होता है ये. Is it clear? For this scrubbing and abrasion. के washroom से maximum ये होता है white color का. What you use it to remove? Dead skin from the toes. Hope it is clear. Shall I move to the next part? These were some examples and characteristics of primary rocks. Last year UPSC ने क्या पूछा था? Last to last year. Discuss the characteristic features of the primary rocks. Can I say itself these all are the characteristics? Am I clear? ये थी कहानी आपकी surface पे. अब आता है intrusive. Another is intrusive. But intrusive से पहले जरा मैं आपको एक चीज और बता दूं यहाँ. जब भी हम कहते हैं on the basis of texture, टेक्सचर किस पे डिपेंड करता है? रेट ऑफ कूलिंग. ध्यान से सुनना. व्हाट इज जनरल लॉ ऑफ साइंस सेइंग? फास्टर द कूलिंग, दैट मींस रैपिड द कूलिंग, smaller or finer the texture. Vice versa, slower the cooling, larger the texture. So can I say one of the characteristics of igneous rock is they bear crystals, and the size of the textured crystal depends upon the rate of cooling. Faster the cooling, smaller the texture. Slower the cooling, bigger the crystal. Clear with this? समझ आ रहा है यहाँ तक? चलें next part पे. ये कहानी खत्म होगी पूरी exclusive की. But there are some intrusive also. Is it clear? So before I go ahead, let me give a quick recap of all this. Igneous rocks. Classification of the igneous rock is on the basis of location, on the basis of chemical composition, and on the basis of texture. चलिए easy सा उठाते हैं पहले. On the basis of texture. Igneous rock bear crystals. What do they bear? Crystals. And the size of the textured crystal depends upon the rate of cooling. Faster the cooling, smaller the texture. Slower the cooling, bigger the texture. पहला बात खत्म. अब आ जाओ next on the basis of location. On the basis of location, they can be extrusive, they can be intrusive. In intrusive, as the magma is upwelling from the magma chamber, at the greater depth, as the magma begin to cool, the rate of cooling will be very slow, thus the size will be bigger. Such rocks are called as hypabyssal, such are called as plutonic igneous rocks. Example, granite. While the magma is upwelling, before coming out of the earth crust, it get trapped into some cracks and joints, get solidified there. The rate of cooling is moderate. Thus the size of the texture crystal is medium. Dolorite, pegmatite, magnetite, these are some of the examples. Is this clear? As soon as the magma reaches to the surface, the temperature of the freshly ejected lava varies between 500 to 1200 degrees centigrade. The average temperature of the earth is around 14 to 15 degrees centigrade. The rate of cooling will be very fast. Thus the size of the texture crystal will be very small. Example here, basalt. When the basalt will break, whenever any rock break, it convert into soil. What type of soil will be this? Black soil. And this is good for the cultivation of cotton, as well as it is used for building roads. Is one clear? Second, chemical composition. On the basis of chemical composition, we have two types of the lava: acidic lava, basic lava. If a rock is made by the cooling of acidic lava, we call them felsic, igneous rock. If it is formed by the cooling of basic lava, we call them mafic igneous rock. Let's now come to the acidic lava. Acidic lava is that type of lava in which silica content relatively is more in comparison to iron and magnesium. What are the characteristics? If the silica content is high, the viscosity will increase. Gases will remain trapped within it. Fluidity will be less. Such eruptions will be very violent. Color of the rock thus formed will be lighter, and its density will be also less. Basic lava. It is having abundance of iron and magnesium in comparison to silica. Now, what is happening in this process? In this process, as the magma travels and reaches to the surface in the form of lava, viscosity is less, thus fluidity is high. Is this clear? Color of the rock will be dark and they will be a bit denser. Am I clear with this? Then let's come to another part. So whenever there are volcanic eruptions of the acidic lava, it generally give rise to volcanic cones, mountains. Basic lava give rise to shield or plateaus. Clear? What are the characteristics of these acidic lava landforms? They are tall, narrow base, steep slope. Basic lava, broad, gentle slope, less in height. Am I clear to this? Another part. The volcano, in any volcano, if there are more than one vent, what is that called as? Parasitic volcano. Any volcano made up of different type of material, what is that called as? Composite or stratovolcano. Where are they generally seen in? एसिडिक लावा इरप्शंस. इज इट क्लियर? एसिडिक लावा में अगर सिलिका और बढ़ जाए, we call it andesitic lava. What we call it? Andesitic. और सिलिका बढ़ जाए, we call it rhyolitic lava. So rhyolitic, andesitic, इतना डिटेल नहीं जाएंगे. You will remember what are they? Acidic lava only. Silica is high. Then we discussed there can be different type of the material ejected during the process of volcano. Solid material, liquid material, gaseous material. Solid material in generally is called as tephra, or we also call it pyroclastic material. Is it clear? Pyro means heat, clastic means fragments. Am I clear to this? Now, it can be volcanic bomb or volcanic block, or it can be cinder, or it can be ash. First thing, if the size of the volcanic block, that means the diameter of the solid block blown out by the volcano is greater than 32 या 33 mm, 33 याद रख लो, 2 को छोड़ दो, 33 mm, what we call it? Volcanic bomb or volcanic block. If the size is between 4 to 32, what we call them? Cinders. Less than that, ash. Is this clear? Shall I move to the next part? Okay. हाँ बेटा, हाँ क्यों नहीं, बंद सब में बंद होंगे, दोबारा भी eruption हो सकता है, क्यों नहीं हो सकता है? मतलब मैग्मा जैसे ही अंदर हीट अप दोबारा होगा, कन्वेक्शन बढ़ेगा, इट विल अगेन मेल्ट एंड कम आउट. उसमें बन सकता है, उसमें भी बन सकता है, डिपेंड करता है, जहां ये कहीं भी बन सकता है. सेकेंडरी इवेंट्स नॉट ओनली इन एसिडिक वोल्केनो, इट कैन बी सीन इन एनीवेयर. यहां देखो, ये लो, ठीक है, ये खाली इसमें नहीं, यहां पे भी बन सकता है. एनी वोल्केनो कैन हैव दिस. इज इट क्लियर? क्यों नहीं हो सकता यार? हो भी सकता, हीट से क्यों नहीं हो सकता यार? ऐसा नहीं है कि कोई चीज नहीं होती, जो सॉलिडिफाई होगी, अगर प्रेशर टेम्परेचर चेंज हो गया तो दे विल मेल्ट. इज इट क्लियर? इट्स ऑल अबाउट द डिफरेंस ऑफ टेम्परेचर एंड प्रेशर. नाउ चलो उसी पे आता हूं मैं. ये तो हमने देखा बाहर, अंदर भी जो लैंड फॉर्म्स बन रहे हैं, व्हेन मैग्मा इज कूलिंग डाउन इनसाइड द क्रस्ट, दे विल आल्सो गिव सम लैंड फॉर्म. बट क्वेश्चन इज, इफ समथिंग इज हैपनिंग विद इन द क्रस्ट, हाउ इट इज विजिबल टू अस? अगर मैं ये कह रहा हूं कि दिस सरफेस, इफ समथिंग इज हैपनिंग हियर, कैन यू सी इट? नो. सो ओवर द मिलियन ऑफ ईयर्स, when there is denudation of the surface, what I told you yesterday, denudation. What is denudation? It is the process under which the height of the landform is reduced. Weathering, erosion, mass wasting, they all are included in the process of denudation. The process under which the height of this building will be reduced. What is that called as? Denudation. Now listen here. Assume यहाँ पे कुछ rocks बने in the interior. Are they visible to me? But over the million of years, as the surface will get eroded completely, layer by layer, what will happen? Interior rocks will be visible. समझ आ रहा है ये? Is it clear? So then geologists can go and study it. But till the time surface is not denuded, they are not visible. So will it happen in one day? No. It will take million of years to happen. Can we go ahead with the time? कब होगा? It is very dynamic, very subjective. कहीं जल्दी भी हो सकता, कहीं time consuming भी. So let's discuss this with the help of a figure. क्या पढ़ रहे हैं हम? Intrusive igneous rock bodies, और क्या दूं? लैंडफॉर्म. चलिए यहाँ Again, can I say the rocks can have cracks and joints? Assume here it is again a magma chamber. This is magma rising from magma chamber. Can I say as the magma rises from this magma chamber, there can be also cooling in this part? If the cooling will happen, we just discussed, what will be the size? Bigger. चलो मैं इसको ऐसे mark कर देता हूँ. What shape it is forming? Dome shape. Clear? Okay. After that, this magma is further traveling. Wherever it find the weak zone, can I say it will try to enter there? Can I say it can enter here also, get trapped and solidify? Okay. Let me mark it like this. Is it clear? Further, this magma can travel. If it get a weak zone, a crack or a joint here, can I say it will enter there? As it enter there, it travels and finally get solidified here. Similarly, here it will further travel. It get a passage and enter here. So can I say it will solidify here only now? Hope it is clear. Then this magma gonna further travel. Can I say it can enter here also? As it travel here, it will enter there and get solidified into this. So can I say volcano can erupt from this part also? Can I say this can be also a vent? If this is primary, what will be this? Secondary vent. समझ आ रहा है? Is it clear? Similarly, here can I say it can enter here also? As it enter here also, it might get trapped there and begin to get solidified and cool down here. And the remaining part, without any interruption, will come out. And here will be called as volcano. And then it can travel there, solidify, either make volcanic cones and volcanic domes. Am I clear with this? Let's name them and then discuss their characteristics. This is called as batholith. What is this called as? Batholith. We'll discuss what is the meaning of batholith. And this is called as laccolith. What is it called as? These are some German terms we'll discuss. This is called as lapolith. This is called as stock. What is this called as? Stock. This is called as phacolith. देखो ये जो लैपो है किसी किसी बुक में LO भी दिया है, सो इट इज जस्ट अ नाउन. लैपो और लोपो, इट इज वन ऑफ द सेम थिंग. लोपोलिथ और लैकोलिथ. वैसे यहाँ पे लोकोलिथ और लैकोलिथ. मैं लिख देता हूँ to avoid such confusion. Is it clear? And then it is called as dike. Either this spelling you will find or you will find this spelling. एक और चीज I forgot to mention that. So can I say it can enter here also and solidify? It is called as sill or sheet. So can I say intrusive igneous rock bodies are batholith, laccolith, lapolith, faccolith, sill, dike and sheet. What are all these? Intrusive igneous rock bodies. अब ध्यान से देखो, जैसे जैसे सरफेस का इरोजन होता जाएगा, what will be these? Visible to us. Am I clear? Now, let's discuss first the characteristic of the batholith. What I am writing here, characteristics of the batholith. Can I say it is a dome shaped structure formed at greater depth in mantle or in crust? ये crust की बात कर रहे हैं. mantle में कहा तो बहुत गर्म है नीचे. At greater depth within crust due to slow cooling of magma. Am I clear with this? Next characteristic feature of it. Shall I write it here? You will remember it is the largest intrusive igneous rock body. So which is the largest landform in intrusive rocks? Batholith. Second thing here, it can be hundreds of kilometers in length. Statement समझना. 100 of kilometers in length and width across. Width हमेशा क्या होती है? Across. If I say 50 to 80 kilometers, ये कम से कम है, but it can also go in several hundred kilometers. अब definition देखो. This is length. What is this part? Length. What is this part? Width. Is this clear? यहाँ the characteristics clear? Okay. Stock. You will remember stock is batholith of small size. So can I say it is a small dome shape size with area often less than 100 square kilometer. With area often less than 100 square kilometer. ये जरूरी यहाँ नहीं है. It can form anywhere. I will tell you one more important characteristics of it. Assume ये कोई rock है. ये मान के चलते कोई rock है. ठीक है, ये कोई rock है and this is a passage. This one which I have colored, what does this means? Hard rock there. Assume this magma was entering into it. जैसे magma इसमें enter होगा, it is giving it resistance to further move. What will happen over the period of time? This magma, it will get trapped and it will solidify there. So what is this shape giving rise to? Dome shape. Am I clear with this? इसी को हमने नाम दे दिया stock. What we name it as? Stock. So geologists said anywhere where this magma get trapped in the rock and further is not able to proceed and solidifies there over the period of time, if its shape is in a dome-like structure but its area less than 100 square kilometer, what we call it as stock. Hope it is clear. Okay. Facholith. What is this shape giving rise to? Wave-like. Wave have two parts, anticline and syncline. It is accumulation, can I call accumulation or solidification of magma in a wave form, wave-like shape. Am I clear with this? Okay. Sill or sheet. Have you seen big ice sheets? They are horizontal. So it is accumulation of magma or solidification of magma. Accumulation of magma horizontally. You will remember then what is the difference between sill and a sheet? You will remember sill of less than 1 meter thickness. 1 meter thickness is called as sheet. What is sill of less than 1 meter thickness called as sheet? After that, let's come to another part, which is your lapolith. What it looks like? Can I say spoon shape? Or can I say a pan, a saucer shape in which you make tea? Okay. It is a saucer shape structure formed due to cooling off of magma. Hope it is clear. So what is the keyword you will remember here? Saucer shape. How will it look like? A flat area and then a depression in a bend. Is it clear? Then you have this dike. It is a vertical accumulation of lava. It can be hundreds of kilometer in length. So can I say if it continues, it can reach to the surface also? यहाँ तक clear है? Let's come to the last, laccolith. अच्छा मुझे एक चीज बताओ, जो अपने लेंस लगाए हैं, क्या शेप है इनका? कॉनकेव, कॉन्वेक्स? ये आपने लेंस लगाया, अब बताओ कॉन्वेक्स कहाँ की तरफ है, कॉनकेव कहाँ की तरफ है? बाहर की तरफ कॉन्वेक्स, अंदर की तरफ कॉनकेव. इज इट क्लियर? मैं इसको ऐसे कर दूं, ये क्या पार्ट रहेगा? व्हाट इज दिस? नाउ अगर मैं इसको ऐसे कर दूं, क्या ये लेंस है? नो. व्हाट इज दिस? इन्वर्टेड. क्योंकि लेंस का हमेशा बाहर की तरफ क्या रहेगा? कॉन्वेक्स, अंदर की तरफ कॉनकेव. If I turn it like this, it will not be a lens. If I call it a lens shape, will it be a correct statement? No. सो सिमिलरली अगर आप इसको देखो और इसको देखो, इनमें से लेंस शेप का कौन सा है? ऊपर वाला। अगर वो आपको बोले लैपोलिथ इज अ लेंस शेप स्ट्रक्चर, इज इट करेक्ट? नो। सो हियर यू विल रिमेंबर विद दिस स्टेटमेंट, it is accumulation of magma just below the surface of crust. In the shape of, या तो याद रखना मेनली लेंस, किस शेप में? लेंस। और in the shape of mushroom. In what shape? Mushroom. Mushroom भी convexo concave है। यहाँ देखो, you have that vegetable mushroom like this. समझ आ रहा है ये? Is it clear? Now, how they will ask you in exam a question on this, especially in prelims. One side they will give you name, another side they will give you shape. They'll ask you match the following correctly, or which among the following is not correctly matched. Am I clear to this part? समझ आ रहा है ये? अब यहाँ देखो, मान लेते हैं अगर आपको मेंस में क्वेश्चन पूछता है, ये तो आगे प्रीलिम्स का पार्ट इज क्लियर. If they ask you in mains, write a short note on the intrusive igneous rock bodies. ये ऐसे मत ड्रॉ कर देना सारा, आपको लिखना है वहाँ, है ना? So it means this figure, if you will draw, it will take a lot of time. I will tell you a very simple figure which you will draw there. एक और चीज देखना, ऐसा नहीं है कि ये लेफ्ट में है और ये राइट में रहेगा, है ना? ये बनाने के लिए आप इसको यहाँ ड्रॉ कर दो, इसको यहाँ ड्रॉ कर लो, इट डजंट मैटर. कैन यू टेल मी इन दिस व्हाट विल बी दिस पार्ट? प्लूटॉन्स. What are these one? Hyperbisals. Clear with this now? Okay. अब यहाँ देखो, अगर एग्जाम में पूछता है यही क्वेश्चन तो what is this part? Surface. What is this part? Interior. This dome type structure, what you will mention here as batholith. Is it clear? Okay. What is this? Stock good. What is this? Sill or sheet. What is this? Wave like? Yes, pacholith. What is this? Lapolith. What is this? Dike. What will be this? Laco. You will simply draw it, then you will pick one and write. Second, you will write about it one line. Third, you will write about it one line. Am I clear with this? Is it clear? Shall I move to the next? तो यहीं पे हमने लैंडफॉर्म्स ही खत्म कर दिए, इग्नियस रॉक्स इन एंड आउट फिनिश्ड. Shall I move to the next part? अब आते हैं नेक्स्ट पार्ट में. Characteristics of igneous rocks. बताइए जरा वन बाय वन. Tell me what are the characteristics of igneous rocks? अरे बोलो, इतना पढ़ लिया आप तो बता दो. सही में ब्रेक चाहिए आप लोगों को? Yes. Characteristics of igneous rock. और स्पीक, एवरीवन स्पीक अप, अदरवाइज मैं उतना ही पढ़ाऊंगा जितना लगेगा आपको बताना चाहिए। ठीक है, गुड, बोलो, बोलते जाओ। वेरी गुड, और बोलो, बताते जाओ जरा, गुड। चलो लिखो, आई विल गिव 5 minutes, गिव मी एटलीस्ट 6 कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स विदाउट रिपीटिशन, राइट, फिर मैं बता देता हूँ। फर्स्ट कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स लिख लें। अगर मैं कह रहा हूँ टेल मी द कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स ऑफ दिस पेन, व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय हार्डनेस, टेक्सचर, कलर, इज इट क्लियर? ये होते हैं कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स। फर्स्ट कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स आर दे आर हार्ड, massive and compact. What are they? Hard, massive and very compact. Is it clear? Second, they do not have layers. Layers कहाँ मिलेंगी आपको? Sediments. Why they don't have a layer? Because it is a molten material which is cooling. Another part, they have लिख लो यहाँ, better will be bear. They bear crystals. The size of the crystal depends on the rate of cooling. Rest story you know. Faster the cooling, smaller the texture crystals. Slower the cooling, larger the texture crystals. अब आते हैं नेक्स्ट कहानी पे इसकी। ध्यान से सुनना। We have two things. जरा इसको हट के पहले बता देता हूँ मैं। Something called as porosity and permeability. ध्यान से सुनिएगा। What is one? Porosity. Another is permeability. Porosity का मतलब क्या है? Pore spaces between the sediments. What is this? Space between the two sediments. Space between the two sediments can be finer. Space between the two sediments can be bigger. If the pore space is more or pore space is narrow, दो ही चीज हो सकती है. So porosity is the space between sediments. Permeability क्या है? It is the ease of flow of water. What I mean by this? How water can easily percolate down. How easily the water can percolate down. Now tell me one thing. If porosity is less, what will be permeability? Less. If porosity is more, what will be permeability? More. Like कल भी मैंने कहा था, sand is very coarser. So what is pore spaces in the sand? Bigger. So water holding capacity will be there more or less? So less. Water will move downward. So sand has high porosity, high permeability. Clay, finer among the all. Clay is porous but not permeable. आपने देखा होगा क्ले में वाटर लॉगिंग हो जाती है ना? इन क्ले यू ऑब्जर्व वाटर लॉगिंग. सो क्ले कैन बी पोरस, क्ले इज पोरस, बट व्हाट इज पोर स्पेसेस? वेरी फाइनर. बट व्हाट इज ईज ऑफ फ्लो ऑफ वाटर? लेस. सो क्ले इज पोरस but not permeable. Sand is porous as well as permeable. Am I clear with this? Is it clear? Shall I move to next part now? Those rocks in which water infiltrate easily, we call them pervious rocks. Those rocks in which water do not infiltrate easily, we call them impervious. What we call them? Impervious. Now, when we talk about igneous rock, in igneous rock, देखो ऐसा नहीं है, generally books कहती है igneous rock do not contain pores. What we generally say? Igneous rock do not contain pores. But science said even if you take a fiber which is the finest, उसमें भी कहीं आपको क्या मिलेगा? Pore. But question is then why it is written in books? It is because while igneous rocks are formed, the rate of cooling is so rapid. I will repeat it. While igneous rocks are formed, the rate of cooling is so rapid that crystals get tightly packed. What will happen? Crystals, they get tightly packed. They get so tightly knitted that pores almost become negligible. So will water be able to infiltrate down? No. तो जब हम बात करते हैं generally igneous rock does not bear pores, but remember there are pores. But why pores are not acting there? Because due to rapid cooling, these pores get completely knitted. They get completely blocked. So we said, thus these rocks are impervious in nature. What are they impervious in? So do they have a good water holding capacity or less water holding capacity? Good water holding capacity, because water will not infiltrate down. In such rocks where such soils are formed, irrigation is not an issue there. Even if rainfall is not good, agriculture will be there good. Why? Because soil moisture will be very high, because they have the property to hold the water, will not allow the water to go down. Am I clear with this? Now, मैंने कल आपको वेदरिंग कहा था. Chemical weathering always take place under the influence of water and temperature. But in such rocks, is water able to percolate down? No. So they will be less affected by chemical weathering. What will be more acting on them? Physical weathering. So igneous rocks are more prone to physical weathering. Hope it is clear about physical weathering. Yesterday I told you. And less affected by chemical weathering. Hope it is clear. So if anyone asks you, igneous rocks are not at all affected by chemical weathering, is that statement correct? No. They are affected under the influence of chemical weathering, but what will happen to the rate of chemical weathering? Less. What will be they generally affected with? Physical weathering. Shall I move to the next part? अब बाकी ऐड करते जाओ. They are formed of two types of lava. किससे बनते हैं? Acidic or basic, which will determine their chemical composition. Then they are of two types, extrusive and intrusive. जब आप extrusive की बात करते हो, अगर word limit ज्यादा है तो क्या लिखोगे? Extrusive are formed due to the rapid cooling on the earth's surface. Intrusive, the rate of cooling vary from greater depth, plutonic, near just below the surface, hypervisible. ये characteristics है. ये पूछा था एग्जाम में यूपीएससी में. What are the characteristics of the primary rocks? You were supposed to mention all these points. Is it clear? हाँ, एक और चीज सॉरी. They do not contain fossils. They do not contain fossils. Why they do not contain fossils? First, at present, it means when the earth was formed, what I told you, earth was in a form of a hot ball of fire. Was there any life at that time, flora and fauna? इसलिए कोई fossil नहीं था. But at present we are having lot of flora and fauna. But why it is not having fossil? Because temperature is so high, it will completely burn the fossils. So thus can they act as a source of energy like coal, petroleum? No, in rocks में नहीं मिलेगा. Coal, petroleum कहाँ मिलता है? कल मैंने कहा था. Decomposition of organic matter. In this, will you find any organic matter? No. समझ आ रहा है ये? Is this clear? These are the characteristics. अगर आप पूछता what is the significance of igneous rock? characteristics is pen के. What is the significance? It is used for writing. Similarly, what are the significance of igneous rock? पहले देखो. Can I say, hope you are clear with the ores. What do you mean by ores? Source of lot of metallic minerals. Metallic minerals are obtained from the ores. Where are these ores? In the rocks. So first, it acts as a source of many metallic minerals. Lot of metallic minerals. Example दे दूं? Iron, zinc, cobalt, magnesium, etc. इससे क्या होगा? Thus they act as a backbone for metallurgical industries. Where are all these used in? Metallurgical industries. समझ आ रहा है? They are also the source for many rare and precious minerals. Like you have there gold, platinum, diamond, etc. ठीक है? Where are they used in? Ornamental industries. Hope it is clear. देखो diamond क्या है? Diamond basically is believed is formed at the greater depth in several hundred kilometers. The question is then we are doing mining on the surface. वहाँ कैसे पहुँचा? It is believed in the process of volcanic activities. जैसे लावा ऊपर आया, what will it do? Push the diamond up, get trapped into the rocks there, and then there we have mined it. Can I say it is basically in the dikes? In dikes में भी होगा कहीं, and there onwards we can do the mining. So can I say here it will give rise to which industry? Ornamental industry. Similarly another. अब आ जाओ next. Metallurgical कर लिया. Okay. It is used in agriculture. कहाँ पढ़ा था अभी? Basalt. After disintegration give rise to black soil. Favorable for crops like sugarcane and cotton. Is it clear? Similarly, apart from agriculture, it is used for construction. एक हो गया construction of roads. And can I say granite is also used for construction? आपके घरों में जो लगता है. And can I say we have granitic monuments also? लगती है ना मूर्ति leaders की. So what is used there? Granite. This is called significance. अगर इसको character में लिखोगे examiner 0 देगा. Character and significance, how they are useful to us. Is it clear? This was all about your igneous rocks. Let's move towards now sedimentary rocks. Clear? किसी कुछ पूछना है यहाँ तक guys? Before I move to the next one. Shall I move to the next then? Do I need to explain how sedimentary rocks are formed? Already we discussed it yesterday. क्या पढ़ा हमने? Sedimentary rocks are formed by the depositional activities performed by the different agent of erosion. क्या process involved है? Lithification and dionysis. That part is over. Shall I move to the next then? अब यहाँ देखो. When we talk about this sedimentary rocks, इसको हम दो तरीके से पढ़ते हैं. It means इसकी classification पढ़नी है हमें. What we have to study? Classification. One classification is on the basis of the agents of erosion who are bringing these sediments. पत्थर वहां टूटा, यहाँ कैसे आया? Is it clear? समझ आ रहा है ये? Okay. एक हमारा आता है एओलियन सेडिमेंट्री रॉक. व्हाट इज वन कॉल्ड एज एओलियन सेडिमेंट्री रॉक? एओलियन इज परटेनिंग टू विंड. व्हाट इज एओलियन परटेनिंग टू? विंड. जैसे मैंने कल आपको कहा था, द फाइनेस्ट सेडिमेंट, कल की हमने जब बात की थी, साइज ऑफ द सेडिमेंट क्या था? बोल्डर, कॉबल, पेबल, ग्रेवल, सैंड, सिल्ट, clay. Assume करो if river Ganga is tumbling down from the steep slope of mountains. If river Ganga is tumbling down from the steep slope of mountains. यही कल फिगर बनाई थी हमने. What is slope here? Steep. What is slope here becoming? Moderate. What is here slope becoming? Gentle. Is it clear? Can I call this 1 as upper course of the river, the mountainous course? Can I call this 2 as the foothills? And can I call this 3 as the plains? It means the origin of the river. Wherever river originates, कहीं भी जहां से river का origin हो, कहां पे हो सकता है? A lake, rain water or a glacier can be a origin. उस origin को हम कहते हैं mouth. What we call it as mouth. And where river empties itself or drains itself, that is, sorry, this is called as source. What is this spot called as? Source. And this is called as mouth. It means if you talk about river Ganga, origin of river Ganga is in Gomukh. Gomukh, basically there is a glacier. Is it clear? Which glacier is there? Gangotri. From this there are two head streams, Alaknanda and Bhagirathi. Alaknanda and Bhagirathi flows and meet with each other at Devprayag. And Devprayag onwards we refer it as Ganga. So assume this is Ganga. What is the source of Ganga? In Gomukh. In the end, where Ganga drains? Bay of Bengal. So what is the mouth of Ganga? Bay of Bengal. Now the entire path which river Ganga covers, we call it river valley. The entire path followed by a river, what is that called as river valley? So if I say here river valley of Ganga, Uttarakhand, UP, Bihar, it touches the northern part of Jharkhand and then goes into West Bengal. What is this whole river valley of Ganga? The entire area or entire path followed by an individual river, it is called its river valley. Am I clear? Now, अगर मैं एक example यहाँ दूँ और assume करो ये मैं river गंगा की example दे रहा हूँ. What is this river? Ganga. Assume here it is Ram Ganga joining river. This is your Kosi. Here can be Ghagra. What are all these rivers having? Different source. And what are they joining Ganga at different places? These are tributaries of river Ganga. Similarly, if you talk about Yamuna also, if it is Gangotri, next to that is Yamunotri. Yamuna originates there, travels through Uttarakhand to Himachal to Haryana, Delhi, and then in UP near Prayagraj joins it as a tributary. From Amarkantak Plateau, river Son originates and joins Ganga near Patna. So what are these tributaries of Ganga? हम हमेशा डायरेक्शन कहां से लेते हैं? लेफ्ट और राइट, ओरिजिन से. अगर मुझे अपना लेफ्ट और राइट देखना, ओरिजिन से दिस इज लेफ्ट, दिस इज राइट. सिमिलरली इफ आई हैव टू टेक द बैंक्स ऑफ द रिवर, ये रेड जो मैंने मार्क किया, विच बैंक ऑफ द रिवर इज इट? गंगा का लेफ्ट बैंक. व्हाट इज दिस ब्लू वन? राइट बैंक. सो कैन आई से यमुना एंड सोन आर द right bank tributaries of Ganga joining Ganga from south. Gagra, Gandak, Kosi, Ram Ganga, what are those tributaries of Ganga joining from north? Ab this whole area, when I say this is the entire path followed by the river Ganga, what is it? It's river valley. Similarly, it is the entire path followed by the river Yamuna. What is this? Individual valley of river Yamuna. This is the entire path followed by the river Son. What is it? River valley of Son. Similarly, it is entire path followed by the river Kosi. What is it? River valley of Kosi. The network of all these is called as drainage system. What is this network whole called as? Drainage system. It means the entire path followed by the individual river along with its tributary. What it becomes? Drainage system. Entire path followed by an individual river. What is that called as? River valley. So which is bigger, river valley or drainage system? Drainage system. जैसे आप पढ़ते भी हो इंडियन ज्योग्राफी में, ड्रेनेज सिस्टम ऑफ गंगा. Why we call drainage system of Ganga? Ganga and its tributaries. Am I clear with this? Shall I move to the next part? Okay. So it means जब यहाँ पे river आ रही है, what is velocity of river? Very high. Will it carry one type of the sediment or all the type of sediments? So boulder, cobble, pebble, gravel, sand, silt, clay, everything will come down. But as soon as it reaches here, what is happening to velocity? Decreasing. कल बताया था मैंने, moderate हो जाएगी. So what will happen to the coarser material? It will settle there. Which one will travel? Finer. And by the time it reaches here, what will be velocity? Very less. And what will be the only role of river here? Deposition. Can I say delta will be formed? Now can you tell me among boulder, cobble, pebble, gravel, sand, silt, clay, which will be carried by the river till end? Coarser or finer? Finer. Among this, which is the finest it can carry for larger distance? क्यों? Sand is coarser than what do you call this, clay and silt. एंड तक कौन सा ले जाएगी? क्ले. लेना तो क्ले चाहिए इसको, बट इंस्टेड ऑफ क्ले इट विल कैरी सिल्ट. So instead of clay it will carry silt. Understand, there is a reason. Clay get mixed with water and become sticky. चिपक सी जाती है. Clay get mixed with water and become sticky. So as it flows, it get attached to the rocks. So it gives resistance to the flow. So rather than clay, what it carries? Silt. That's why in delta you have sand also, silt also, clay also. But which will have more abundance of? Silt than clay and sand. Hope it is clear. Similarly, the wind, where will wind blow mainly? Everywhere wind will blow. But where will be the wind action more dominant? In deserts. Why? Friction is less. हमारे यहाँ पे भी wind चल रही है. But here you have trees, you have buildings. So what will be there more? Friction. So erosional activity of wind will be here more or less. But if you go into the deserts, is there any vegetation? So what will be their friction? Less. So wind will be an active agent of degradation in deserts. So while wind blow in the deserts, it also carries sand along with it. Sand is of different size. The finest sand which it can carry up to larger distance is called as loess. What is it called as? Loess. This loess is yellowish in color. What is it? Yellowish in color. So what is the finest sediment which wind can carry for larger distance? Loess. And if anywhere there will be a deposition of loess, first layer, second layer, third layer, fourth layer, can I say a plain will be formed? That is called as loess plain, and the soil is called as loess soil. This area will be very good for agriculture. Why? It is because for agriculture you require coarser soil or finer soil? Finer soil. So if irrigation is here properly available, this area can become very much prosperous for agriculture. Is it clear? So one of the classification is aeolian, means containing to wind. What is it giving rise to? Loess. Can you guys open the map of Asia? खोलो जरा एशिया का map. Open the atlases with Asia map. Everyone on the map of Asia, guys? Okay, let's see. Map कहाँ गया? चलिए चलिए गाइस, यहाँ पे देखिए, इफ यू मूव टुवर्ड्स दिस मैप, यहाँ चाइना की तरफ चलिए, यहाँ देखो अराउंड दिस एरिया, यहां से एक रिवर आपको मिलेगी कॉल्ड एज वांगे, कॉल्ड एज येलो रिवर, इट ड्रेन्स इनटू गल्फ ऑफ बोहाई। पॉलिटिकल और फिजिकल मैप पे दोनों देखो मिल जाएगी, पॉलिटिकल मैप पे इजीली मिल जाएगा। इज इट क्लियर? इट इज रिटन एज वांगे। नाउ लिसन हियर, हियर द एरिया, यहाँ देखो, लेट मी मार्क सम एरियाज हियर, यहाँ देखो, this area here in China basically is of lowest deposits. ये दिख रहा है colored shaded? Here the lowest plains are formed. Now the question is, what is the possibility for such lowest formation? Do you think anyone has seen this? किसी ने देखे होंगे बनते हुए? क्या नॉर्थ इंडियन प्लेन्स देखे किसी ने बनते हुए? नहीं. So it means if these plains are formed which are of lowest deposition, geologists are of the opinion that in surrounding areas there are deserts. ऊपर देखो गोबी डेजर्ट मिल जाएगा मंगोलिया में. Everyone there? Okay. If you move towards the west, you have here Central Asian countries. देखो Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan. They are also deserts. What are they? Deserts. और यही चाइना के अगर थोड़े वेस्ट में जाओगे, यहां मिलेगा टकला मकान डेजर्ट. मिल गया? Is it clear? Now, it is believed by the geologists, they are of the opinion that either winds have come from Gobi Desert, either from Central Asia. And while they travel through this part, over the period of time, they start shedding this lowest there. And finally, the plain is formed called as lowest plain. यहीं से river flow की Huanghe, which is now called as Yellow River. Why it is called Yellow River? When lowest get mixed with it, what will be the appearance of the water? Yellow. ऐसा नहीं है पानी येलो कलर है. Water is colorless, odorless. It is just the lowest has mixed in it. It give appearance of yellowish color. And the finally it drains into Gulf of Bohai. यहाँ पे yellow sea है. नाम भी yellow sea क्यों है? Because of the color of this water which is containing lowest. Am I clear? इसी को कहते थे sorrow for China also, because every year it brings lot of floods. But this area is very good for agriculture. So what China has to do in this case? Flood management is required. Hope it is clear. यहाँ तक समझ आ रहा है? चलिए जरा यहाँ तक. Is first clear lowest? ये किस पे कर रहे हैं हम? Agents of erosion. Second is glacier. The sediments which are brought down by the glacier, they are called as moraines. What are they called as? Moraines. If these moraines will get deposited layer by layer in an area, what they will make? Sedimentary rock. Another can be chemical precipitates. What is another called as? Chemical precipitates. चलिए इसको ऐसे समझते हैं. Like salt rock or gypsum. What is gypsum? Calcium sulfate. Now listen. If you have a container in which there is water, if you add salt to it, salt will get dissolved. And what is salt? A solid mineral. Now keep on heating it. There will be evaporation. In the process of evaporation, what will get evaporated? Water. Will salt evaporate? No, salt is a solid mineral. So over the period of time, as soon as evaporation is beginning, whole water will get evaporated. What will be left out? Salt. Similarly, in saline lakes, where evaporation exceeds the precipitation, can I call them arid areas? Like Thar Desert in Rajasthan, you have there Sambar Lake, which is saline in nature, and around that you will find lot of salt deposits. So it means those areas, मैं इसको लिख देता हूं, in saline lakes around arid or semi-arid. What it means? What is the difference between arid and semi-arid? Arid means if annual average rainfall is less than 25 centimeter, which is a desert condition. If rainfall is between 40 to 60 centimeter, उसको क्या कहेंगे? Semi-arid. So in areas में temperature is high, so evaporation will be more. but what is rainfall? Less. So slowly and gradually when water get evaporated, what is left out? Salt. Is it clear? समझ आ रहा है? And then you have argillaceous sedimentary rock. It is deposited in water like shale, mud, etc. Is it clear? Argillaceous is related to your water. Is this clear? समझ आ रहा है यहाँ तक? ये सारे के example है on the basis of agents of erosion. But we have another part here. Another classification is here. First, physically formed sedimentary rock. What is one? Physically formed. Another is chemically formed. And then third is organically formed. What is another? Organically formed sedimentary rock. Physically formed, chemically formed, and organically formed. Is it clear? Now listen here the difference. When you talk about the physically formed sedimentary rocks, we have some examples there. मैं बता देता हूँ physically और mechanically क्यों कहते हैं. We have here sandstone. We have here siltstone. We have here conglomerate. और we have here mudstone. और इसी को शेल स्टोन भी कहते हैं. ठीक है? Now listen what it means. It means if there is deposition of sand, what are agents of erosion doing? Just pushing the sand. If there is deposition of sand layer by layer, topmost layer will exert pressure on the bottom layer. What you will get? Sandstone. Similarly, if silt get deposited, siltstone. Similarly, if you talk about rounded sediments, what are conglomerate? Some broken sediments which are rounded in shape. If they get accumulated somewhere, what you get? Conglomerate. And similarly, you can have mudstone. Till the time water is there in the clay, it is mud. When water get evaporated, what will be left out? Mudstone. तो इसमें कोई chemical process हो रहा है? What is all? Physical processes involved. Similarly, when you talk about chemically formed, chemically में क्या है? अभी हमने पढ़ा. Around the lakes. Can I say it is gypsum? And what is another? Salt. अब यहाँ देखो. If you talk about one of the process here, remember the scale. कोई scale तो होगी पक्का इनको measure करने के लिए. The scale used to measure the size of mineral grain sediment उस स्केल को नाम है वेंटवर्थ स्केल. व्हाट इज इट कॉल्ड एज? वेंटवर्थ स्केल. ये प्रोफेसर वेंटवर्थ ने यूज की थी. सॉरी, हु हैज डिस्कवर्ड इट? प्रोफेसर वेंटवर्थ. एंड द नेम ऑफ द स्केल इज वेंटवर्थ स्केल. कैसे काम करती है हमारे काम की नहीं है. वी शुड जस्ट नो हाउ व्हाट द स्केल मींस. सो केमिकली फॉर्म्ड आपके पास क्या है? जिप्सम. ऑर्गेनिकली फॉर्म देखो क्या क्या है. अच्छा एक और सुनो. कैन आई से लाइमस्टोन इज आल्सो केमिकली फॉर्म्ड? कैल्शियम कार्बोनेट. देन यू हैव ऑर्गेनिकली फॉर्म्ड. एक ऑर्गेनिकली फॉर्म्ड आपका कोल. कल पढ़ाया था मैंने. कैसे बनता है ये? डिकम्पोजिशन ऑफ फॉसिल्स. सेकेंड, कैन आई से पेट्रोलियम ऑल्सो? इट इज फॉर्म बाय द डिकम्पोजिशन ऑफ प्लांट्स एंड एनिमल्स. उसके बाद आपका एक और आता है लाइमस्टोन भी. किसकी बात करते हैं हम? लाइमस्टोन. तो याद रखना लाइमस्टोन इज बोथ केमिकली एज वेल एज ऑर्गेनिकली. अब मैं आपको बता देता हूं लाइमस्टोन केमिकली कैसे है एज वेल एज ऑर्गेनिकली. वी हैव इन सी सम मरीन ऑर्गेनिजम्स. यहां पे ड्रॉ कर रहा हूं. अज्यूम इन द शैलो वाटर्स ऑफ द सी. हम इसको डिटेल में पढ़ेंगे बाद में, अभी बस याद रखना. वी हैव सम मरीन ऑर्गेनिजम्स or a marine animal which is very microscopic called as corals. What are these called as? Corals. तो मान के चलता हूं मैं यहां पे these are microscopic sea animals called as corals. Characteristics of these sea animals is they live in colonies. Like हम सब एक छोटी सी कॉलोनी बना रहे हैं. So similarly thousands and millions of coral polyps live together. They have the property to extract calcium carbonate from the sea water. This calcium carbonate they do not use as in a food, just to protect of their soft body. जैसे हमारी body को skin save कर रही है. So they will make a layer of calcium carbonate over their bodies. The question is, what is calcium carbonate? Sedimentary rock. Sedimentary rocks have pores. समझ आ रहा है? Through these pores they will breathe. What will they consume? Algae. So what is food for them? Algae. Nutritious algae. So it means the corals are living in these sedimentary rocks, and through these sedimentary rocks there are pores through which they will breathe and they will consume food. अभी के लिए इतना याद रखो. But once these corals will die, what will be left out? Calcium carbonate rock. What is calcium carbonate? Limestone. समझ आ रहा है ऑर्गेनिकली क्यों लिखा मैंने? Is it clear why I mention it organically? यहां तक समझ आ रहा है? So ये थे sedimentary rocks. Tomorrow we'll start with the metamorphic and then finish the rock part. Clear? Thank you guys.